Hi everyone, it's me, Tim. Today I want to try to recreate the presentation I gave at Editor's Day in April of 2000. I have a video about it, I'll link it below. We did an Arcanum press event at the Magic Castle in April of 2000, about a year before Arcanum came out. I found my notes on this. I thought they were lost, but I think I've told you I have so many paper backups, so many hard drive backups in different formats that I finally found my notes. They were dated April 22nd, 2000. I literally don't know what day it was, so I don't know if I touched these notes right before or after the presentation, but that was the last time this file had ever been touched. I'm going to try to recreate the presentation here as if you were there in the Magic Castle. But remember, this was supposed to open with me making a funny comment about us showing people the game and letting them play it, so there was no smoke and mirrors here at the Magic Castle. But the Sierra Studios president, David Granowitzky, took my line and basically opened that way. I don't remember how I opened, but my notes contain what I went into from the smoke and mirrors, so I'm just going to start there. My presentation was broken down into 8 sections. I don't think this is going to take very long, though. So here's what I said. I probably said, hey, everyone, welcome press and journalists to Arcanum Day. Let me jump right into what I started talking about. Let me just start with saying I'm a geek. I am 100% nerd. I don't have a PhD like Derek Smart. I don't have medical degrees like Greg and Ray up at BioWare. And I certainly don't want to make you my bitch like John Romero. But make no mistake, I am 100% geek, and I'm super excited about what I'm going to show you today. Our game, Arcanum, which we're going to show you and then let you play, we did 6 solid months of design work before we had any contract. It was just myself, Leonard Borarsky, and Jason Anderson in our homes doing nothing but design work. There was no license. There were no restrictions because we didn't have a publisher yet. There was no schedule imposed from within or without. Because of that, I think this game represents really strongly our design ideals, possibly even more than Fallout. The universe we've decided to make a game in is a fantasy RPG. We felt like it was our time to make a fantasy RPG. For the same reason we decided not to do a fantasy RPG when we were making Fallout, we felt like, okay, we've made that game. It's our turn to do a fantasy RPG. But we're not going to have it mired in 14th century medieval times like what seems to be every other fantasy game that's out there. Instead, in ours, magic and technology are clashing. It's as if the Industrial Revolution had come to J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings world. This tension will pervade the entire story, the setting, the quests, the player choices. Even the very engine that supports it has code to make magic and technology antithetical. Let me jump quickly into the story. We're going to make an epic story arc. If you like the story in Fallout, it was 3 acts. This one is over 20 acts. It is very long. We can't imagine playing this game in less than 40 hours. It's probably going to be closer to 1680. The story itself branches depending on whether you want to be good or evil. We will not restrict you. On whether you want to be a fighter or a talker. Whether you want to have a party of people or you want to go it alone. And of course, whether you want to use magic or technology. The game will branch and branch and branch again. There will be multiple endings, lots and lots of multiple endings, depending on how you're playing this game. Let's talk real quick about the kind of player character you can make. This game will be entirely skill-based. There are no classes. We have a magic system already done and in the game. It has 16 colleges of spells. Each college has 5 spells in it. We also have technology with 8 disciplines. And between those disciplines, among those disciplines, is over 100 schematics of technological items you can create. Magic has you throw spells. Technology has you create things that you can use. You can be a combination of magic and tech. They're antithetical, but you can try to make it work. We call those either leaners, like you're towards the center, but you're leaning a little bit into magic, or you're leaning a little bit into tech, or fence sitters. You're buying equally from both sides. So for every spell you buy, you pick up a tech discipline. Or we have a few people who played it with nothing at all. They didn't buy any magic. They didn't buy any tech. They're basically pure non-magic fantasy characters. A fighter, a thief, that kind of thing. You don't do spells. You don't do technology. Those are all the different ways you can even have people who don't make a choice in the magic tech combination. And then for backgrounds, we have so many backgrounds you can pick, and those affect your character. In fact, every decision you make in this game, except for your name, won't affect anything in the game. Or will it? Maybe the name will affect things in the game. I'm not going to give anything away. Let's talk real quick about the system we made. The game system has combat in both real-time and turn-based. You can pick which one you want, and you can switch between them, even in the middle of combat. In addition to skills that you spend points in, there is a completely orthogonal skill system that lets you enhance them. So you can start untrained, and then you become a beginner, expert, and master. And those improve the skills in ways that just putting points in the skills will not improve. We have an entire system of things called fate points. When you do something major in the game, you gain a fate point. Fate points can later be spent to override the game. You can say, no, I will hit with my next hit, or it will be a critical, or I'm back at full health. You can just override the game and say, this is what's happening. All of the skills, including combat skills, support critical successes and failures. If you can do really, really well, or you can do really, really badly. There's also an entire system, because we have deities in this game, an entire system of blesses and curses that can be applied to players that are not magical. So when applied to a technological person, they are equally effective. And these blesses and curses have to be managed by the player or avoided by just not ever angering or favoring the gods. We have a brand new engine we made for this world from scratch. I learned my lesson making a game from scratch, an engine from scratch before for Fallout. This is a brand new engine. It supports a continuous world of I believe it's 1,000 kilometers square. You can go anywhere in this world without a load screen. The individual dungeons or towns will incur a load screen, but you can just wander the world sector by sector and not see any load screens. So there's a wide variety of terrain: mountain, grass, forest, ocean. Everything's rendered in 800 by 600 resolution in glorious 16-bit color. We also support real-time shadowing and translucency with no 3D card support needed, but if you have it, it'll run better. We're also going to have multiplayer support. We're going to let you play with your friends in modules created to run in the game. You can't play the main story arc multiplayer, but the game will come with a module. And we're going to support tools to make modules. That's right. This game will have user extensibility in that way. You can make new maps. You can make monsters. You can make items. You can make quests. You can make rumors. You can write dialogues using the same tools we used to make the base game. And those modules can be exported with an executable, so people can play the game, your game module, and all your friends can play with you. And you can decide whether you want your modules to be single player or multiplayer. I hope you like what you see today, and I hope you see this as the first of many games from Troika Games. Thank you. Okay. I hope you guys like that. That was a tiny bit of Tim Kaine, April 2000, talking about Arcanum, coming at you here in very late 2024.